Hey everyone! So, doing our first check-in for the Contrariwise challenge in February of 2020. I am using the Isis Oracle. Even though this is a much beloved deck of mine, I did feel a need to reconnect with her in a more powerful way. And I also wanted to spend a week just really getting messages from her and feeling really connected to her in that way. So, Isis Oracle is my deck of the week. I have been finding that um, I keep drawing the same cards, the same two cards over and over. So you may find that this is true for you in your process too this week. And that, what I found over the years is that just means that there's a message that you're probably not listening to, and something that you want to like stop and do some kind of internal inventory over. And so for me, those two cards have been Chariot of Ascension and the Abundance of Sothis. I have drawn multiple times. Now, this is where the guidebook actually is really helpful for us, especially when we're reviewing this in regards to personal work, because if there's an area that we're kind of not paying attention to or not wanting to look at, the guidebook can point us in the right direction insofar as what we need to look at. So, like for me with the Abundance of Sothis card, which has shown up the most out of the two that have repeated, allowing myself to receive, trusting that there's abundance coming, but also allowing and preparing to receive seems to be something that I feel like I might be getting stuck around. So, being able to come back and look at that in the guidebook and do some journaling around that has been really helpful for me. So for this time with the deck, I have been writing in the Isis journal. You don't need to have like all the accoutrement of a certain deck that you like. It just so happens that I like, really like Jimmy Manton's artwork, like really love his artwork of Isis. I'm excited to see what he creates for Kalima. But I really visually find it attractive, and so for me, buying the journal too back in the day, I bought it and then I'd been saving it for some time. It just felt right to work with it for this challenge, but use whatever journal feels right. I like to have a separate journal for challenges like these because I like to be able to reference it outside of my normal day-to-day journal. And also it makes it easier if you're going to be going back to look at things over the years to kind of know where that in that journal is basically like everything. For instance, to use this as an example, everything you've been studying about Isis, etc. So personally, I prefer to do that, but do what works for you. But anyhow, so this is the journal that I've been writing in, and my personal process has involved me taking a look at, in what ways am I not being open to abundance because I keep drawing the same card, that this is actually a time of abundance, even if it doesn't maybe seem that way. So that has been very much part of my own process with, getting closer to the Isis Oracle, but also understanding why when I keep drawing repeaters, what that means. So for you, going to give yourself pause and stop and take stock and see, is there something in the card that you're not paying attention to? And it might even be just the same thing that like, you're like, oh God, I don't want to deal with that. Like I've already known that about myself, or like that doesn't feel like it applies at all. Sometimes that can be the piece that's actually really important to look at. And that's where shadow work comes into play and is important. So giving that attention, like pausing, giving that attention, journaling about that, and referencing the guidebook if you keep drawing the same card over and over can be very helpful. But it's cracked me up how often I've drawn the two of those, and how much like no matter how many times I clear the deck or, do all that stuff, it's like, no way, this is how it is. So, this is the card, like, you got to look at this. So pay attention to that when you find that happening. That's what I've been experiencing this week for sure. Another thing is just, feeling the energy of the deck. I try to like pay attention as I'm moving through the day and just see like, what am I getting from the Isis Oracle? Like, what am I feeling from her? Is it time to draw another card, or is it time to just like go back to and reference something in my daily draw that feels appropriate? That kind of thing is also really helpful when you're doing a challenge like this. Since our main objective and goal is for you to get to know a deck that you might feel like you need to get reacquainted with or that you can't figure out. Just kind of like checking in throughout the day. So having the deck near you, I've been doing that with the Isis Oracle for myself, has been really helpful too. So that is where I'm at there. I have not done the deck spread for the week yet, so I will be doing that this week, and I will be updating you on that process too. I'll share what I got out of that and how that felt. But the daily draws are great, have been really impactful and helpful for me, and I hope you're finding those to be the same for you as well. If you have any questions about daily draws and the process, feel free to message me in the comments down below, and I will take a look at that and be happy to address that in my next check-in video. But sending you all much love and many blessings. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.